Amid the relentless changes of life, when everything around seems chaotic and uncertain, there is one thing everyone is searching for: peace. But how can we hold on to that peace when the storms come crashing in, when everything seems to collapse, and fear and worry flood our minds without end? There is an invisible strength within each of us, a hidden energy that helps us stand firm amidst the storm, not just to survive, but to grow stronger. This is the inner strength, the profound wisdom that ancient masters called the wisdom of the awakened mind. Have you ever paused to wonder, what makes the difference between those who are easily defeated by hardship and those who face challenges yet maintain a peaceful heart? It's not luck, nor is it escaping pain, but the ability to accept difficulties, to understand that storms are simply a part of life, and from there, learn to live in harmony with them. The journey to find and nurture this inner strength is not an easy one. It demands patience, mindfulness, and an open heart willing to embrace everything, whether pain or joy. But you are never alone on this path. Through short yet profound Zen stories, we will witness living proof of inner strength overcoming all obstacles. From the tale of a humble monk facing a stone on the path, to the lotus flower rising from muddy waters, and the story of a soldier finding peace after war. Each story carries a lesson about acceptance, letting go, and cultivating tranquility within. These stories are not only rooted in tradition, but are also illuminated by modern psychological science, helping us better understand how wisdom and resilience form and grow. Let us step together into the world of Zen stories to uncover the secrets of maintaining peace amid life's storms. Because once you learn to master your mind, you will no longer fear challenges, but see them as the greatest teachers guiding you toward true growth and freedom. That peace is not something far away. Introduction. Introducing the topic and the importance of inner peace. Before diving into the profound and meaningful Zen stories about inner strength, we need to understand the broader context of the theme, peace amid the storm. Life is never smooth. It is always filled with challenges, difficulties, moments when we feel swept away in the whirlpool of unexpected events. Inner peace is not the absence of storms, but the ability to keep the soul steady and clear no matter how fierce the external tempest may be. Therefore, recognizing and accepting challenges as an inevitable part of life is the first important step to opening the door toward true peace. 1.1. Difficulties and challenges in life, the unavoidable storms. Every person's life goes through difficult moments and unavoidable challenges, like storms suddenly crashing in. Whether it is the loss of loved ones, career failures, psychological crises, or other sudden upheavals, these hardships are like huge waves relentlessly hitting the small boat of our life. No one can completely avoid these challenges because they are an inseparable part of existence. Difficulties are not only physical or external circumstances, but also deep internal experiences: pain, loneliness, fear, and helplessness. We often tend to avoid, deny, or resist these storms, but in reality, the more we resist, the more chaotic our mind becomes, making challenges heavier. Like a real storm, if you stand in the rain trying to fight it with your bare hands, you will only become more exhausted. Those who have experienced deep challenges know that it is not physical strength or quick fixes that help us stand firm before life's storms, but inner peace. This peace is not spontaneous, but is formed through acceptance, understanding, and the ability to transform difficulties into positive energy. In Buddhist tradition, suffering and hardship are viewed as an essential part of life, a gateway to enlightenment and growth. Without suffering, there is no awakening. Without challenges, wisdom and deep compassion cannot develop. By understanding the impermanent nature of life, we learn not to cling to transient things and thus find lasting tranquility. Similarly, modern psychology research shows that people who can accept and adapt to hardships often have higher mental resilience, experience less stress and depression, and recover better after crises. This ability is not a natural gift, but is cultivated over time through practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness. That is why, to begin the journey of maintaining peace amid the storm, we first need to change how we view difficulties, from something to avoid to a strict but compassionate teacher. The Zen stories we will explore are not just ancient tales, but vivid living evidence of the inner strength that can be awakened when we accept and harmonize with adversity. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It is the release of exhausting resistance, allowing us the freedom to choose how to face, learn from, and grow through challenges. Luminous power guiding us through all challenges toward a fuller life. 1.2. Inner peace, the key to overcoming every challenge. Inner peace is not merely a state of quietness or a feeling of calmness. It is an essential mental strength that helps us overcome all difficulties and challenges in life. When life throws violent upheavals and sudden shocks our way, without a solid foundation of inner peace, people are prone to lose control, become stressed, or even mentally break down. But with inner peace, no matter how strong the storms may be, we can remain steadfast and clear-headed to perceive the situation and find the right path forward. Inner peace is formed when we learn to face and accept reality as it is, without resistance, avoidance, or denial. This is a long process, not easy at all, requiring patience and mindfulness. A person with inner peace is not someone who has never suffered, but someone who has learned to live harmoniously with pain, seeing it as an inevitable part of life, thus no longer controlled by negative emotions. When inner peace develops, it becomes a shield protecting us from negative external influences, helping us avoid being swept away by destructive emotions such as anger, fear, or anxiety. Inner peace is like a shining light in the darkness, guiding us through rough and challenging times without losing our way. With it, we remain mindful and see clearly the transient nature of difficulties, without getting entangled or disturbed by them. According to Buddhist tradition, inner peace is the state of mind free from afflictions, clear, calm, and insightful. It is the result of practicing mindfulness and meditation, which helps us observe ourselves objectively, without judgment or attachment to negative thoughts and feelings. When the mind is at peace, we can perceive the impermanence and selflessness of all phenomena, making it easier to let go and not be dominated by suffering. In modern life, psychology also emphasizes the importance of inner peace in maintaining mental and physical health. People who can sustain inner peace tend to have better psychological resilience, experience less stress, and recover faster after crises. They not only face challenges effectively, but also learn and grow from these experiences. Inner peace also nurtures compassion and empathy toward oneself and others. When the mind is peaceful, we are not stuck in prejudice, anger, or resentment, but open our hearts with understanding and tolerance. This not only reduces personal stress, but also improves social relationships, creating a harmonious and positive environment. Inner peace does not always come easily or naturally. It needs to be nurtured and cultivated through experience. One effective way to build inner peace is through mindfulness practice, which helps us live fully in the present moment without being trapped by past regrets or future worries. Mindfulness creates a deep connection with ourselves and the surrounding world, allowing us to recognize emotions clearly and manage them wisely. Modern scientific research has proven that meditation not only reduces stress, but also improves brain function, memory, and creativity, thereby contributing to a better quality of life. Additionally, cultivating compassion and forgiveness is key to maintaining inner peace. Forgiveness is not only for others, but most importantly for ourselves, releasing mistakes, regrets, and self-blame so that the soul is freed and tranquil. When compassion grows, we develop a more tolerant perspective toward people and situations, reducing anger or jealousy and minimizing unnecessary pain. Inner peace is the most precious luggage helping us walk through all challenges. It is a light that guides us when lost amid life's storms. It is not passive quietness, but an active strength of the soul, a state of mindfulness and steadiness to embrace everything without being overwhelmed. With inner peace, all difficulties become opportunities for growth and development, enabling us to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. In conclusion, inner peace is the master key that opens every door in life. It is not merely a meditation technique, but a profound philosophy of life that focuses on discovering and nurturing inner strength, the enduring energy that helps people overcome challenges and transform adversity into valuable lessons. Inner strength, from the Zen perspective, is not something distant or mystical. It is the natural state of the mind when freed from attachments and afflictions. It is about living fully in each moment, observing oneself and the world with honesty, without judgment, and without running away from reality, whether it be hardship or happiness. This mindfulness forms the foundation of inner strength, a peaceful, clear, and resilient mind. Inner strength in Zen is understood as the ability to maintain mental steadiness amid external fluctuations, without being swept away by negative emotions such as fear, anger, or greed. It is not about denying emotions, but fully accepting and understanding their nature, without allowing them to control our actions or thoughts. With inner strength, Zen teaches that all phenomena are impermanent. Nothing is fixed or eternal. Understanding this allows us to let go of attachments, worries, and fears about the future. When we allow things to unfold as they are, without excessive control, the mind becomes clearer and more flexible, enabling us to face situations calmly and creatively. This is an unshakable source of power that helps us overcome difficulties with freedom and peace. Moreover, Zen teaches the interconnection between inner strength and compassion. When the mind is peaceful and clear, it naturally cultivates compassion not only for others, but also for oneself. Compassion is the bond that connects people and the energy that heals emotional wounds, allowing us to see things with greater tolerance and completeness. In Zen practice, understanding Zen and inner strength not only helps us overcome difficulties, but also opens a new way of living, a path of inner freedom, mindfulness, and unconditional love for all life. This foundation enables us to keep peace amid storms, find deep meaning, and true joy in every step of our journey. 1.4. Script Approach: Storytelling plus Buddhist Analysis plus Modern Psychology. In the script, Secrets to Keeping Peace Amid the Storm, Zen Stories on Inner Strength, combining storytelling, traditional Buddhist analysis, and modern psychological research, creates a multidimensional content framework that is both profound and accessible, helping viewers not only feel but also deeply understand and apply it in their daily lives. First, storytelling plays a crucial role in guiding the audience into the world of Zen and inner strength. Short, concise stories rich in symbolism and meaning stimulate curiosity while touching personal emotions and experiences. Zen stories often portray symbolic images and authentic experiences of Zen masters or archetypal characters, making it easy for viewers to visualize and empathize. Through each story, viewers see how the characters face adversity and feel the inner transformation, strength, and freedom that come from maintaining peace amid the storm. Next, analysis through traditional Buddhist knowledge clarifies the profound meanings and philosophical foundations of each story. Buddhism, with its teachings on impermanence, dependent origination, suffering, and enlightenment, provides a coherent and deep system of thought explaining why humans face hardships and how to transform them into a path to liberation. Concepts such as mindfulness, non-self, compassion, and letting go are explained and directly related to each story's situations, creating a link between tradition and real life. Modern psychology's concepts of psychological resilience, trauma recovery, the impact of mindfulness on the brain, and emotional management methods supplement and clarify the Buddhist analysis. This helps the audience understand not only the spiritual aspects, but also the mechanisms of the mind, making it easier to approach and practice principles of inner peace in reality. The combination of storytelling, Buddhist philosophy, and modern psychology not only enhances appeal, but also raises the educational value of the script. By incorporating popular scientific and psychological concepts, the script gains credibility and easier acceptance while maintaining the subtlety and profundity of Zen philosophy. Additionally, throughout storytelling and analysis, key points stimulate critical thinking and emotional engagement. Open-ended questions, paradoxical situations, and profound lessons are raised, allowing viewers to reflect and find answers themselves, increasing interaction and connection with the content. Structuring the script with this method helps allocate content logically and coherently, ensuring the narrative flow is clear and easy to follow while remaining engaging. The script approach combining storytelling, Buddhist analysis, and modern psychology helps viewers not only deeply feel inner strength, but also equips them with practical knowledge and tools to apply in life. This is the true secret to keeping peace amid the storm, offering value both spiritually and scientifically while fostering understanding and respect across cultures and bodies of knowledge. Part 2. Storms in Modern Life, Common Challenges. In the modern world, life seems increasingly hectic, complex, and full of pressures like never before. Storms and challenges come not only from major upheavals, but also from everyday pressures, whether work, family, society, or seemingly small negative emotions that quietly and deeply affect each person's spirit and health. This section will lead viewers into the most practical and common aspects of modern life. The challenges most of us face, but few fully recognize or have the tools to overcome effectively. From rising work pressure, diverse family responsibilities, societal expectations, to negative emotions such as anxiety, anger, and stress. This section not only paints a realistic picture, but also serves as a stepping stone to explore the inner strength needed to maintain peace and balance of the mind. The stories here will vividly illustrate how modern people can remain mentally steady, learn from adversity, and transform challenges into opportunities for self-growth. 2.1. Pressure from work, family, society, and negative emotions. Modern life is marked by nonstop technological advancement, fierce competition in the workplace, and diverse roles and responsibilities that everyone must shoulder. Work pressure is one of the leading causes of stress and mental imbalance. Every day, we face deadlines, targets, making us vulnerable to stress, anxiety, and insomnia. Not only work pressure, but family responsibilities also weigh heavily. In modern society, people must care not only for themselves, but also for aging parents, raise children, maintain spousal and extended family relationships. These roles intertwine and sometimes conflict, creating prolonged tension. Modern women, in particular, face great pressure as they juggle work, household duties, and caregiving, often leading to overload and feelings of loneliness and neglect. In addition, societal pressures such as expectations for success, status, appearance, and social norms further increase individual stress. Social media. The pressure to always be perfect or according to standards creates a silent, stressful environment, making it hard for minds to truly rest or relax. They accumulate and cause serious physical and mental health consequences. For example, chronic stress can lead to sleep disorders, weakened immunity, cardiovascular diseases, and negative impacts on social relationships. Psychologically, it reduces concentration, impairs memory, diminishes interest in life, and can even cause anxiety disorders or depression. However, amidst the storms of pressure and negative emotions, many still find ways to stand firm and hold onto a strong inner foundation. They learn to recognize and accept their feelings instead of denying or suppressing them, apply stress management techniques, meditation, or simply take time to care for themselves. This proves the existence of inner strength, the energy that helps people not only survive, but also thrive stronger after every challenge. In the next section, we will delve deeper into real-life stories of people overcoming work, family, and societal pressures, and how they unlock their inner strength to keep peace amid life's storms. Through these stories, they have become widespread phenomena deeply affecting the mental health of many people across all ages and social classes. Stress, anxiety, and depression, these three common psychological states, can be seen as internal storms that modern humans face daily, making life heavy, difficult, and potentially causing serious consequences if not recognized and managed in time. Stress is the body's natural response to pressure, challenges, or situations requiring adaptation. However, when pressure is prolonged and exceeds one's coping capacity, stress becomes harmful. The body and mind remain in a constant high alert state, causing prolonged tension that weakens the nervous system, reduces concentration, increases risks of cardiovascular diseases, sleep disorders, and other health problems. Stress affects not only individuals, but also negatively impacts surrounding relationships, family, friends, and colleagues, as stressed individuals tend to be irritable, impatient. Without proper support and management, anxiety can develop into more serious disorders such as panic disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, or social anxiety disorder, significantly affecting quality of life and abilities to work or socialize. Depression is a more severe psychological disorder, not just temporary sadness, but a prolonged loss of interest in life. Feelings of hopelessness, loss of energy, and even suicidal thoughts. Depression profoundly affects a person's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, causing loneliness, alienation, and difficulty maintaining daily activities. It is a serious illness requiring both psychological and medical treatment to help patients recover and reintegrate into life, and an inability to self-recognize and accept oneself during difficult times. Many get trapped in cycles of negative thinking, unable to break free or seek help in time. Overcoming psychological crises begins with clearly recognizing signs and correctly understanding these states to avoid fear or denial. Sharing feelings with loved ones, friends, or mental health professionals plays a vital role in relieving mental burden. Additionally, methods such as meditation, mindfulness, deep breathing, physical exercise, and maintaining a healthy diet and sleep routine positively contribute to balancing psychological states. In Buddhist philosophy, psychological crises are seen as an unavoidable part of life, manifestations of impermanence and suffering that everyone must experience. Through practicing mindfulness and developing wisdom, people learn to observe and understand themselves more clearly without getting caught up in negative emotions, instead learning to let go and transform them. The combination of traditional knowledge and modern psychological research has brought many highly effective supportive methods, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, and mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR. These methods focus on changing thinking patterns, perceptions, and reactions to difficult situations while enhancing resilience and adaptability. Finally, building a social support network, including family, friends, and community, is key to helping those facing psychological crises avoid loneliness and gain resources to overcome challenges. Empathy, sharing, and understanding from others reduce mental burden and motivate the healing process. In the next part of the script, an uncertainty in life. Loss and grief are inevitable experiences on every person's life journey. At any moment, regardless of wealth or poverty, success or failure, people must face events that cause pain and loss, whether it is the passing of a loved one, the end of a relationship, losing a job, or major upheavals that disrupt life. These create powerful inner storms, challenging one's ability to accept and adapt to harsh realities. In today's fast-moving and ever-changing world, uncertainty has become more pronounced than ever. Loss is not only about major events, but also includes small daily changes, disappointments, and emotional wounds that may not be easily noticed but accumulate over time, causing deep inner scars. Uncertainty about the future and what lies ahead often leads to confusion, fear, and a sense of losing direction in life. Grief over losing loved ones or deeply connected things is an intensely profound and often inexpressible feeling. It is not merely a material loss, but also a fracture within one's inner spiritual world. This pain does not just exist momentarily, but can persist, seeping into every corner of the soul, affecting thoughts, emotions, and actions. Those who experience loss often struggle with feelings of loneliness, emptiness, and sometimes anger or guilt, making the healing process arduous and complex. Uncertainty in life tests one's ability to accept and let go. When people try to control everything. In Buddhist philosophy, impermanence is the nature of all phenomena. Everything is in constant flux and nothing is fixed. Understanding and accepting this helps lighten the mind, helping individuals not only overcome difficulties, but also mature with each challenge faced. In modern society, facing loss and uncertainty is supported by many psychological methods, from therapy to emotional healing techniques. Combining Buddhist philosophy with psychological science creates a solid foundation to help people both recognize the nature of change and have practical tools to confront and overcome negative emotions. Meditation, mindfulness, breathing exercises, and self-awareness practices are effective tools that reduce suffering and foster inner peace. The upcoming real-life stories of loss and uncertainty will offer viewers genuine experiences of how people faced, accepted, and transformed grief into a source of inner strength. They not only overcame pain, but also found new meaning in life, opening new doors for spiritual growth and deep serenity. Loss, grief, and uncertainty are essential parts of life, but how we perceive and respond to them determines the quality of life and peace of mind. When we learn to accept and let go, we are no longer trapped by the past or anxious about the future, but live fully in each present moment, maintaining peace amid life's storms. 2.4. Negative impacts of life's storms on the mind and body. When people face life's storms, prolonged challenges, difficulties, and pressures, not only the mind, but also the body suffers serious effects. The connection between mental and physical health is very close. Therefore, prolonged mental stress often causes clear negative consequences on overall health. Understanding these impacts helps us realize the importance of caring for both the soul and the body and forms the basis for finding suitable methods to reduce harm and restore balance. First of all, psychological storms like stress, anxiety, depression, loss, or prolonged stressful events place great pressure on the central nervous system. When the mind is constantly in a high alert state, the autonomic nervous system is continuously activated, increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and stress hormone levels like cortisol in the body. One of the earliest and most noticeable consequences is sleep disorders. When the mind cannot be calm and thoughts constantly race, it becomes difficult to fall asleep or people wake frequently during the night. Long-term sleep deprivation leads to tiredness, decreased concentration, impaired memory, and a weakened immune system. Lack of sleep also reduces the body's ability to fight illnesses and recover after injury. Psychological stress also causes digestive issues such as stomach pain, irritable bowel syndrome, digestive disorders, and changes in eating habits. People under stress or anxiety often eat irregularly, either too much or too little, affecting physical health and weight. Stress-induced imbalance of gut microbiota has also been linked to digestive diseases and even mood disorders. The musculoskeletal system is not spared either. Long-term tension causes muscles, especially in the neck, shoulders, and back, to remain tight, leading to pain, reduced mobility, and prolonged discomfort. If untreated, this can develop into chronic conditions such as neck and shoulder pain, spinal degeneration, or fibromyalgia. Life's psychological storms also negatively impact the cardiovascular system. Elevated stress hormones cause blood vessels to constrict, increase blood pressure, and raise the risk of heart diseases such as angina, heart attacks, and strokes. Many studies show that those who experience frequent stress have a significantly higher risk of these diseases compared to others. Furthermore, the impact on the immune system is notable. Prolonged stress weakens immune function, making the body more susceptible to infections, slower to recover from illnesses, and prone to autoimmune diseases. When immunity declines, various organs are more vulnerable, affecting overall health. Mentally, these storms cause fatigue, loss of interest in life, decreased concentration and productivity. Many feel lonely, powerless, and trapped in cycles of negative thinking, significantly diminishing quality of life and social relationships. In reality, psychological storms and life pressures are unavoidable. But understanding and recognizing these negative effects enable us to better care for ourselves. Combining physical health care with strengthening inner resilience through meditation, mindfulness, yoga, and relaxation techniques has been proven to significantly improve overall health and reduce stress-related damage. Moreover, maintaining a balanced lifestyle with adequate rest, proper nutrition, regular exercise, and support from social relationships is essential to preserve mental and physical health. Actively seeking help from mental health professionals when needed is also an important step to safely and effectively overcome life storms. In the next part of the script, we will explore stories of people who have experienced and overcome these negative impacts, drawing lessons on inner strength and ways to maintain peace during the most difficult moments. Short Zen stories on acceptance and inner strength. Life is never smooth, and each of us must face countless challenges and difficulties in various forms. But the miracle lies in how we embrace these challenges. Some choose to fight, some surrender, and others wisely choose acceptance to find inner peace. This is the spirit of short yet profound Zen stories, where acceptance is not defeat, but a silent inner strength helping us weather life's storms. In this section, we will explore Zen stories full of metaphor and philosophy, set in an international context, with characters leading modern lives yet embodying deep mindfulness and wisdom. These stories are not only entertaining, but also convey lessons on acceptance, perseverance, and awakening inner power, helping viewers find their path amid adversity. Each story will be vividly narrated and analyzed through traditional Buddhist philosophy, combined with modern psychological understanding. Through this, viewers will gain not only inspiration but also practical spiritual tools to apply in everyday life, gradually building a strong and peaceful inner core amidst life's storms. 3.1 Story 1. The Zen Monk and the Boulder on the Path, a lesson on the power of acceptance. On a winding mountain path, an elderly Zen monk was quietly walking step by step toward a place of peace. The air was crisp, a gentle breeze rustled through the trees, carrying the scent of earth and damp leaves. Suddenly, a large boulder appeared blocking the path before the monk. Other travelers encountering such an obstacle might feel frustrated. Some would try to push, break, or climb over it to continue their journey. But the monk showed no sign of irritation. He sat down beside the boulder, closed his eyes, and took a deep breath. In his heart, the boulder was no longer a barrier but part of the path, a challenge to practice patience and letting go. When he opened his eyes, the monk gently stood up and used a small stick to write a few words on the boulder's surface. It is not the boulder blocking the path, but that I have stopped walking. Then he continued on, calm and serene. This simple story carries a profound message. In life, difficulties and challenges are not what block us, but how we face and accept them determines the path we take. Acceptance does not mean enduring or surrendering, but clearly recognizing and not resisting reality, thereby transforming all hardships into opportunities for growth. According to Buddhist philosophy, acceptance arises from the wisdom of impermanence. All things change, and nothing is fixed. When the mind clings to the image of a perfect path, a life without obstacles, suffering easily follows when reality differs. But knowing how to accept means not letting obstacles derail us, but rather finding peace and clarity to keep moving forward. From a modern psychological perspective, accepting negative emotions and difficulties helps reduce stress and increases resilience. Instead of fighting painful feelings or dissatisfaction, we learn to listen, feel, and process them healthily. This reduces the risk of prolonged depression or anxiety and strengthens mental fortitude. The story of the Zen monk and the boulder on the path also reminds us that sometimes slowing down, stopping, and observing ourselves is necessary to realize the latent power within each of us. Patience, self-compassion, and mindfulness are qualities that help us overcome every challenge and maintain inner peace no matter how fierce the storm. In the next part, we will explore the second story, another journey of acceptance and inner strength from a completely different, yet equally inspiring and wise circumstance. 3.2 Story 2. The Undying Lotus in the Mud, a journey of resilience rising from darkness. In a small village by a lake in southern England, there was a young woman named Emily. From childhood, she grew up in a poor family full of challenges. Emily's life was much like a muddy swamp, full of difficulties and harsh conditions that would easily break others. However, like the lotus flower that grows out of the mud, Emily not only survived, but shone with a rare resilience and purity. Emily always believed that the hardships and challenges she faced were not obstacles blocking her path, but opportunities to learn and grow. Each time she confronted adversity, Emily maintained a calmness in her soul, a state she called a peaceful ground, where no matter how chaotic the outside world was, inside she remained steady and peaceful. Emily's story is like the image of the lotus flower, a symbol in Buddhism of purity, serenity, and enduring vitality. The lotus grows from the mud but is never stained. It stretches toward the sunlight with its radiant petals, Similarly, a person's inner strength is nurtured through trials and suffering. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, through every step of her journey, Emily continuously learned to let go of negative emotions, understand the impermanence of life, and cultivate compassion for herself and those around her. She knew that acceptance of her circumstances did not mean surrender, but was a profound awareness, the first step toward transformation and liberation. From the perspective of psychological science, Emily's journey also exemplifies the power of perseverance and positive mindset in coping with adversity. Studies show that maintaining an optimistic attitude, embracing acceptance, and finding meaning in hardship reduce stress, improve mental health, and enhance resilience after life's shocks. More than just resilience, the story stands as evidence of the serenity and inner beauty radiated by those who live with a pure heart, unentangled by injustice or suffering. Day by day, Emily became an inspiration to her small community, like a pure lotus amid a dark swamp, sending the message that no matter how bleak the circumstances, inner strength can always guide us toward the light. The lesson this story offers is not only for Emily, but for anyone struggling with difficulties in life. We may not choose where we are born or what challenges arise, but we can choose how to respond and move through them. Inner strength, nurtured by acceptance and perseverance. We will explore the third story, a further testament to the power of acceptance and the ability to transform adversity into extraordinary strength. 3.3, Story 3. The fateful meeting between the Zen master and the soldier, a lesson in letting go of fear. On a small trail in the Rocky Mountains, USA, there was a young soldier named Jack who had just returned from a long and arduous mission full of danger. His soul carried invisible wounds that sometimes he couldn't put into words. Fear, anxiety, and haunting memories followed him every night. By chance, in a small temple hidden among pine trees, Jack met an elderly Japanese Zen master named Katsuro, who had spent decades practicing and experiencing the tranquility of the mind. Jack approached the master burdened with questions and worries. How could he let go of the fears that imprisoned him? How could he stop being controlled by his painful past? Their conversation began with simple questions, but gradually unfolded into deep and profound teachings. Master Katsuro told Jack an ancient story about a warrior who once stood on the brink of life and death, but ultimately found freedom by learning to let go of all fear. The Zen master explained that fear is not an enemy to fight, but a part of ourselves that needs to be understood and accompanied. Only when we dare to face, accept, and release it can true freedom appear. Through simple meditation exercises, Jack learned to listen to his breath and observe emotions as they arose without judgment or resistance. Whenever fear appeared, he didn't run away but sat still, allowing the feeling to pass like clouds drifting across a vast sky. Gradually, tension eased, his soul opened, and he found a miraculous stillness. Jack's story is not just the personal journey of a soldier, but a symbolic image for anyone trapped in the whirlpool of fear and suffering. Letting go is not forgetting or running away, but learning to love and accept the vulnerable parts within ourselves. This is the path leading to inner peace and spiritual growth. According to Buddhist teachings, impermanence is the core principle helping us understand that everything changes, including fear and suffering. When we do not cling to them, we free ourselves from invisible chains. Meditation becomes an effective tool to realize the nature of emotions and naturally release them. From the perspective of modern psychology, facing and accepting fear helps reduce activity in brain areas related to stress and the fight or flight response. Meditation techniques have also been proven to improve emotional regulation. When we are no longer controlled by fear, the soul becomes freer, more peaceful, and clearer than ever before. In the next section, we will continue with the fourth story, where acceptance and inner strength are once again revealed through a completely different circumstance and character, yet no less profound. 3.4. Although each story has its own unique setting and characters, they all resonate with a central Zen spirit, fully accepting reality and nurturing inner strength through that acceptance. Zen philosophy does not teach us to avoid or run away from difficulties, but rather to pause, observe, and embrace every experience with a clear and serene mind. Acceptance is not surrender. It is the expansion of the heart to embrace imperfections, pain, and limitations, both within ourselves and in our circumstances. When we cease resistance and judgment, internal conflicts gradually dissolve, creating inner harmony. Inner strength in Zen is the result of letting go, not a hopeless giving up, but liberation from unnecessary attachments and anxieties. By letting go, we do not lose but gain much more: peace, clarity, and freedom of mind. This foundation allows us to stand firm amid life's storms, unshaken by external conditions. Zen philosophy does not separate humans from nature or the universe. It sees all things and phenomena as interconnected and interdependent. Accepting ourselves and our circumstances is thus a way of harmonizing with the flow of life, recognizing that nothing is permanent and everything constantly changes. Living with this awareness, we learn that inner strength is not something we are born with or can buy. It is the result of understanding, acceptance, and letting go. True peace is sown where we confront challenges, nurtured by persistent patience and a heart that loves even the darker parts of life. This is an endless journey, yet it is the path leading to the fullest freedom and happiness. Part 4. Buddhist philosophy on suffering and peace. Life inevitably involves experiences of pain, loss, and suffering in many forms. Yet, despite the presence of suffering, humans continuously seek inner peace, a state of calm and steadfastness that remains unshaken amid life's upheavals. Buddhism, with over 2,000 years of history, has left humanity a profound philosophical treasure regarding the nature of suffering and the path to liberation and true happiness. This section will guide readers into the world of Buddhist philosophy, beginning with the fundamental truths taught by the Buddha, the Four Noble Truths. These are not only the foundation of Buddhist teachings, but also serve as a compass helping us understand the root of suffering and the way to overcome it. Through this, we will see that peace is not the absence of suffering, but a serene state embraced even in the harshest circumstances. We will also explore the relationship between suffering and liberation, examining how to gradually untangle the inner bonds that trap the soul, thereby opening the path to awakening and living in peace. A way for inner strength to reveal itself, and for true peace to be present in every breath of life. For point 1, the Four Noble Truths, understanding suffering and the path to liberation. Every journey in Buddhism begins with a clear and profound understanding of suffering, what the Buddha called dukkha. The Four Noble Truths are the spiritual and philosophical core that the Buddha awakened to and taught throughout his life to help humanity escape the cycle of suffering. The first truth is to recognize suffering realistically, without avoidance or romanticization. Suffering includes not only physical pain, but also mental distress, dissatisfaction, anxiety, and the sorrow of unmet desires. Buddhism teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life, like wind and rain are part of nature. When we truly understand this, we can sincerely and effectively embark on the path to liberation. The second truth reveals the cause of suffering: craving, attachment, and ignorance. Endless desires, clinging to the self, and misunderstandings of reality trap people in a vicious cycle of suffering. When the mind is bound by desires and attachments, suffering perpetuates. The third truth offers hope and peace: the cessation of suffering. When we know how to let go of craving and ignorance, suffering ends. This is not a void or emptiness, but a profound serenity and complete liberation. This path comprises 8 factors: right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This practical path guides us step by step to transform our consciousness, remove harmful habits, and develop wisdom, thus progressing toward awakening and genuine peace. From a modern perspective, the Four Noble Truths align with many findings in positive psychology and neuroscience, affirming that correctly recognizing suffering and transforming our psychological attitudes are critical to improving mental health and coping with stress and depression. Practicing the Noble Eightfold Path resembles contemporary meditation techniques that help people cultivate concentration, enhance self-awareness and environmental awareness, and reduce automatic negative reactions. In summary, the Four Noble Truths are not just philosophy, but a practical guide to understanding the nature of suffering, its origins, and how to overcome it through mindfulness and awakening. As we delve into each step of this path, this is the principle of impermanence in Buddhist philosophy, one of the most fundamental concepts and also a key to helping people overcome suffering and find inner peace. Impermanence is not only about external changes, but also about the continuous transformation of all phenomena, from physical matter to mental states. From the smallest moments in daily life to the great upheavals of existence. When people do not understand impermanence, they easily get caught up in fleeting things, trying to cling to what is inherently unstable. This attachment creates suffering and disappointment when things no longer go as desired. But when one deeply understands and accepts impermanence as an evident truth, one can view everything with a different mindset, not clinging or resisting. This awareness helps us avoid being stuck in the past or anxious about the future, allowing us to fully live in the present moment. Because the present is all we truly possess. And in accepting this present moment, inner peace can germinate and grow. Understanding impermanence also helps us let go of attachments to ourselves, others, and the world around us. When we no longer fixate on anything, we truly liberate ourselves from mental bonds, thereby developing inner freedom and clear wisdom. This is the first step to facing difficulties and challenges without being crushed by them. Instead, using them as stepping stones for growth. In modern life, with its fast pace and constant changes in work, relationships, and environment, practicing mindfulness and comprehending impermanence becomes even more essential. When we keep a calm mind amidst ups and downs, we are not swept away by negative emotions or shaken by unexpected events, maintaining clarity and steadiness in the soul. Moreover, impermanence highlights the principle of dependent origination. Everything does not exist independently, but is always interconnected within a vast, complex web. Understanding this, we realize that the self and the world are a continuously changing whole without any fixed entity, making it easier for us to accept and adapt. Beyond theory, the philosophy of impermanence is practiced in meditation, where practitioners learn to observe each breath, each sensation, each thought as they constantly change without attachment. Through this, we cultivate the ability to let go and keep the mind unmoved amidst life's fluctuations. In summary, understanding and accepting impermanence not only reduces suffering and worry but also opens the path to finding profound freedom and peace within. When we no longer resist change but flow with it. Compassion and letting go are considered core elements that help us keep our hearts steady, preventing us from being swept away by cycles of anger, resentment, and suffering. In Buddhism, compassion is not merely sympathy, but a profound and expansive understanding extended to all beings, including ourselves and those who cause us pain. When compassion is nurtured and developed, it becomes a miraculous energy that dissolves hatred and jealousy, soothing the wounds within the soul. Letting go is not about giving up or abandoning, but a gentle and wise attitude of not clinging to worries, suffering, or things beyond our control. Letting go is a positive act that allows us to release invisible burdens weighing down the spirit, freeing the soul from stagnation and exhaustion. Knowing how to let go liberates ourselves and broadens our hearts to welcome new and more positive things. Compassion and letting go are two sides of the same coin, supporting each other to create a deep state of peace. When we have compassion, it becomes easier to let go because we understand that clinging only increases suffering. Conversely, when we practice letting go, compassion naturally grows as the mind becomes lighter and more open. Together, these two elements form an unparalleled inner strength that helps us overcome life's difficulties and challenges. Buddhism also teaches that compassion must start with ourselves, because if we cannot love and forgive ourselves, it is difficult to open our hearts to others. Loving ourselves and accepting our flaws and mistakes is a crucial first step to building a solid foundation for inner peace. When we stop blaming ourselves or drowning in guilt, we gain the strength to extend our hearts widely to the world around us. In meditation and mindfulness practice, compassion and letting go are cultivated by observing emotions and thoughts without judgment or attachment, thereby developing tolerance and kindness towards ourselves and others. When the mind is no longer controlled by negative emotions, peace gradually permeates each breath and action. Life's constant changes and challenges will always test our compassion and ability to let go, whether through family conflicts, work pressures, or inevitable loss and grief. When our hearts are strengthened by compassion and letting go, we do not collapse, but instead rise stronger, gentler, and live more fully in each moment. In summary, compassion and letting go are not only essential qualities for maintaining inner peace, but also the path toward personal growth and inner liberation. When we truly understand and practice these two elements, no matter how fierce the storms of life may be, we can keep the bright light of peace and compassion alive, illuminating the way to true happiness and freedom. 4.4. Meditation and mindfulness practice in the Buddhist tradition. Meditation and mindfulness are foundational practices in the Buddhist tradition, regarded as essential tools that help individuals deeply understand themselves, calm the mind, and attain profound peace in life. For over 2,000 years, the Buddha has guided his disciples to practice meditation as a direct path to enlightenment and liberation from the bonds of suffering and affliction. Meditation, in a broad sense. The meditation process begins by finding a quiet space, sitting upright, and focusing on the breath, one of the most common meditation objects. The breath is both a sign of life and an anchor that helps us return to the present moment, freeing us from the chaotic thoughts and worries about past or future. By concentrating on the breath, practitioners learn to observe sensations, thoughts, and emotions without getting caught up or reacting to them, thereby cultivating calmness and wisdom. Mindfulness is not just a meditation technique, but also a way of life, an approach to all activities with awareness and attentiveness in every action, word, and thought. Applying mindfulness in daily life helps us recognize negative emotions as soon as they arise, enabling us to skillfully manage them without letting them overwhelm the mind. Within the Buddhist tradition, there are many meditation methods such as vipassana, insight meditation, samatha, calming meditation, and zazen, seated meditation, each with unique characteristics, but all aimed at illuminating the mind and developing wisdom. Insight meditation helps us see deeply into the impermanence, suffering, and non-self nature of phenomena. Calming meditation develops concentration and tranquility, while zazen emphasizes full presence in the current moment. Modern scientific research has proven the numerous benefits of meditation and mindfulness for mental and physical health. Regular practice reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, improves concentration, and enhances emotional regulation. This further validates meditation as a valuable method for holistic health care in today's world. Beyond personal benefits, meditation and mindfulness also improve the quality of social relationships. When the mind is clear and peaceful, we find it easier to listen, understand, and empathize with others. Consequently, conflicts and misunderstandings diminish, creating conditions for harmony and love to flourish. Maintaining a meditation and mindfulness practice is not always easy. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools that help us clarify the nature of life and self, while maintaining inner peace regardless of how fierce life's storms may be. Through these practices, we not only overcome adversity, but also cultivate wisdom, compassion, and true serenity. Part 5. Modern Psychology on Inner Strength and Mindfulness. In today's world, alongside traditional knowledge about inner strength from Buddhism and meditation, modern psychology has developed profound research that helps us better understand how people can recover and grow after facing difficulties and challenges in life. The concept of resilience has become a central focus in psychological studies, seen as the ability to adapt and bounce back after trauma, stress, or major life events. Moreover, mindfulness has been scientifically proven not only as a meditation practice, but also as an important skill that helps individuals regulate emotions, reduce stress, and develop awareness in each present moment. When combined with resilience, mindfulness forms a powerful duo that helps us build lasting inner strength to confront and overcome life's storms. We will discover fascinating intersections between Buddhist philosophy and modern science, forming a solid foundation for the journey toward inner peace and strength in an increasingly turbulent world. 5.1. Resilience, the mechanism of recovery from adversity. Resilience is the remarkable human capacity to withstand and recover from adversity, hardship, or challenges in life. Unlike avoidance or denial of suffering, resilience is the courageous attitude of accepting reality, learning from experience, and moving forward with steadfastness in the heart. It is not an innate trait, but a skill that can be trained and developed through life and practice. Modern psychological research shows that resilience is not merely endurance, but psychological flexibility, allowing individuals to adjust emotions and behaviors according to circumstances while maintaining positive thinking. Resilient people often find meaning in difficulties, hold on to hope, and plan practical steps to overcome obstacles. A key factor contributing to resilience is emotional self-awareness and regulation. When people clearly recognize their inner states, they are less overwhelmed by negative emotions and better able to find effective ways to handle stressful situations. This links closely with mindfulness practice, which enhances awareness and presence in every moment. Additionally, social support networks, spiritual or religious beliefs, and skills in problem-solving and communication play important roles in building and sustaining resilience. Individuals with strong support systems generally have greater mental resources to cope with and transcend hardship. Methods to cultivate resilience are emphasized in modern psychological therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, mindfulness-based therapies, and personal development programs. These methods focus on changing perceptions, managing emotions, and behaviors to help people not be burdened by the past or anxieties about the future. In the context of modern life with increasing pressures from work, family, society, and complex environments, resilience becomes a crucial factor for maintaining mental health and quality of life. The integration of Buddhist philosophy about mindfulness and compassion with modern psychological insights creates a comprehensive foundation for developing enduring inner strength. Resilience is neither mysterious nor foreign, but a natural capacity of every person when cultivated and unlocked. It is the key that helps us stand firm amid life's storms, overcome challenges, and continue growing with stability and peace of mind. 5.2. Growth mindset, a way of thinking that helps overcome challenges. Growth mindset is a concept developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, referring to how individuals perceive themselves and their capacity for lifelong learning. It is not simply a positive attitude, but a deep belief that one's abilities, intelligence, and skills are not fixed traits, but can be developed through effort, persistence, and continual learning. This mindset is especially crucial for overcoming difficulties and challenges because it helps people maintain motivation and faith in their ability to change and grow. People with a growth mindset do not see failure or hardship as the end, but as opportunities to learn and mature. They understand that every challenge holds value if approached with openness, analysis, and lessons drawn from experience. This perspective helps them avoid discouragement, fear, or low self-esteem when facing obstacles, replacing those feelings with curiosity, creativity, and perseverance in seeking solutions and progress. The growth mindset plays a vital role in building sustainable inner strength because it makes individuals more flexible and adaptable to life's changes. When facing adversity, those with a growth mindset can adjust strategies and approaches easily, avoiding getting stuck in negative or limiting thoughts. They know how to seek support, learn from others, and accept challenges as an essential part of personal development. Furthermore, the growth mindset enhances emotional and cognitive self-regulation, improving mental health. By viewing every experience, positive or negative, as an opportunity for growth, people develop a calmer attitude, reducing anxiety and pressure. This is a key factor in maintaining inner peace and steadfastness amid life's storms. From the perspective of modern psychology, the growth mindset is closely linked to skills such as self-awareness, self-motivation, and effective problem-solving. People who embrace this mindset often set clear goals, persist in pursuing them, and adjust their methods when needed. These qualities not only help them overcome difficulties, but also foster sustainable growth in life and career. Practicing a growth mindset is not instantaneous or automatic. It requires gradual training through honest self-reflection, recognizing old limiting beliefs, and replacing them with more positive convictions. Learning from others, reading, attending courses, or even practicing mindfulness meditation are effective ways to strengthen and develop this mindset. When combined with elements such as compassion and mindfulness from Buddhist tradition, the growth mindset creates a solid foundation for unwavering inner strength. The growth mindset helps individuals realize that everything that happens can be a stepping stone to improvement, while compassion and mindfulness keep the heart gentle and prevent it from being swept away by negative emotions. The growth mindset opens the door not only to overcoming challenges, but also to transforming difficulties into opportunities for self-improvement. With understanding and proper practice, we become stronger, more flexible, and more peaceful on the ever-changing journey of life. 5.3. Mindfulness and its positive impact on mental health. In today's fast-paced world filled with constant pressures, maintaining mental health has become a significant challenge for many. One of the most effective and widely recognized tools for supporting mental well-being is mindfulness. It is not merely a meditation technique, but also a way of living, a practice of fully being present in every moment of life. Mindfulness helps individuals clearly and directly recognize both internal and external experiences, creating awareness that reduces automatic or exaggerated reactions to negative emotions. When practicing mindfulness, instead of getting caught up in thoughts about the past or worries about the future, we learn to observe and accept all mental states without judgment or avoidance. This is a crucial step in reducing stress, anxiety, and other negative emotions that often undermine mental health. Modern scientific research has demonstrated that regular mindfulness practice not only alleviates symptoms of stress and depression, but also enhances concentration, improves sleep quality, and strengthens emotional regulation. Practitioners often report a deeper sense of happiness and tranquility in daily life. One key reason mindfulness exerts such a powerful positive effect on mental health is that it changes how the brain responds to stress. Instead of activating fear and anxiety centers, mindfulness increases activity in regions responsible for emotional regulation and control, enabling us to handle situations with calmness and clarity. This helps minimize emotional outbursts or being swept away by feelings, which are common causes of mental disorders. Mindfulness is also regarded as a method to cultivate compassion toward oneself and others. When we are truly aware in each moment, we gradually learn to empathize with and accept our own limitations and imperfections, as well as those of people around us. This foundation nurtures a peaceful mind that is not shaken by external difficulties or wounds. From a psychological perspective, mindfulness enhances self-awareness and behavioral self-regulation. By observing psychological and emotional reactions objectively, we can more easily choose appropriate responses instead of acting reflexively or habitually. This ability is vital for maintaining inner balance and avoiding negative spirals. Furthermore, mindfulness is a core component in modern psychological therapies such as mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, and mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR. These therapies have been widely applied and proven effective in treating mental disorders like depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Combining mindfulness with other mental training methods like resilience and growth mindset creates a powerful trio that helps individuals not only face difficulties effectively, but also achieve significant growth in mental and emotional health. The awareness and compassion nurtured through mindfulness help maintain peace even amid life's storms. In modern life, practicing mindfulness does not require long, rigorous meditation sessions. It can be integrated into daily activities such as eating, walking, or listening to others. What matters is full presence. Buddhist philosophy has long emphasized the importance of mindfulness, compassion, and understanding the impermanent nature of life as fundamental foundations for achieving inner peace and liberation from suffering. Meanwhile, Modern psychology focuses on studying the mechanisms of the mind, emotional responses, and human behaviors in the face of daily pressures, challenges, and stress. The integration of these two systems brings many practical benefits. Buddhist philosophy offers a holistic view of the nature of suffering and the path to its cessation, while providing ethical principles and meditation practices to help individuals control the mind and cultivate compassion. Modern psychology contributes scientific tools to evaluate, analyze, and intervene, deepening the understanding of psychological mechanisms and ways to improve mental health. One of the clearest intersections is the development of mindfulness-based therapies such as mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCD. These therapies directly combine traditional meditation techniques with modern psychological treatments, proving effective in reducing stress, preventing depression relapse, and improving life quality for many people. Moreover, this integration creates a common language that is more accessible to both Buddhist practitioners and those grounded in science. Using scientific terminology alongside traditional concepts enhances credibility and feasibility while reducing misunderstandings or skepticism. In practice, people can combine meditation and mindfulness, the core of Buddhist philosophy, with psychological techniques such as self-observation, emotion regulation, and cultivating positive thinking. This combination not only reduces psychological symptoms, but also builds a solid spiritual foundation, making practitioners more adaptable and resilient in the face of life's challenges. Additionally, Buddhist philosophy emphasizes non-self and letting go, helping people reduce ego attachment and cling less to negative emotions. While modern psychology focuses on increasing self-awareness and behavioral self-regulation, this intersection creates a comprehensive practice method that nurtures both mindfulness and positive self-management. This integration also encourages a humanistic approach, where individuals are seen not merely as isolated psychological cases, but as beings capable of developing wisdom, compassion, and connection with the world. Thus, inner strength is built not only on the ability to face adversity, but also on expanding heart and mind. In reality, many training and therapy programs today have successfully applied this integration, from meditation centers and psychiatric hospitals to personal development organizations, demonstrating the effectiveness and strong influence of blending Buddhist philosophy with modern psychology. However, challenges remain, such as differences in language, methodology, and approach between the two systems. Maintaining mutual respect and understanding while preserving the core values of each field is key to creating harmonious and sustainable practices. In summary, integrating Buddhist philosophy and psychology in practice provides a solid foundation for developing inner strength and maintaining mental health in the modern world. It is a path that helps individuals not only overcome life's storms, but also move forward with peace, wisdom, and compassion in their hearts. Part 6. Real-life inspirational stories about inner strength. Modern life is filled with challenges and moments of hardship that confront people with pain and loss. Yet, it is precisely in these seemingly hopeless times that inner strength shines brightly, like a flame illuminating the path ahead. This section will bring you true stories of resilient individuals who overcame adversity with wisdom and courage. Their experiences, seen through the lens of Buddhist philosophy combined with modern psychology, aim to inspire us to recognize that no matter how fierce the storms of life are, peace and inner strength can always be nurtured and developed within ourselves. 6.1. Story 4. The Woman Who Overcame a Terminal Illness, a Miraculous Journey of Faith and Resilience. Emma, an independent woman living in a major European city, was once a symbol of strength and determination in both her career and family life. However, her world was turned upside down when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer. The news hit her like a storm, bringing fear, confusion, and countless unanswered questions. Ahead of her lay a difficult path filled with physical pain, harsh treatments, and emotional instability that was hard to control. Instead of succumbing to despair, Emma chose a different path. She began learning and practicing Zen meditation techniques introduced by a close friend. Through each meditation session, She learned to observe her thoughts and feelings calmly and without judgment. Reflections on impermanence, life, and death became profound lessons that helped her reduce fear and expand her heart with compassion, not only for herself, but also for her loved ones and others facing similar hardships. At the same time, Emma applied modern psychological knowledge about resilience and growth mindset. She kept a journal of her emotions and small progress during recovery and tried to maintain a positive attitude by focusing on what she could control rather than what was beyond her reach. This helped her renew energy and daily fighting spirit. Though her body weakened with each treatment, Emma's spirit grew stronger than ever. She shared that mindfulness and gratitude for each moment helped her find deep meaning in every breath, every sunrise, and in the simple love of her children. Even in moments when continuing seemed impossible, Emma persevered like a Zen monk walking through a storm, refusing to be swept away by turbulent emotions. Emma's journey is a vivid testament to inner strength, demonstrating how combining Buddhist philosophy and modern psychology can create miracles in even the most desperate circumstances. Her story is not just a battle against illness, but a quest for peace, faith, and true meaning in life. From her painful and challenging experiences, Emma inspires us all that within everyone lies a hidden power, a miraculous capacity to recover. When we learn to accept reality, let go of resentment, and open our hearts with compassion, we are no longer trapped in the storm, but find inner peace despite external hardships. Emma's story will be explored further in detail, including deep analysis of how she applied Zen philosophy and psychological research to build her extraordinary inner strength. Through this, it is hoped every viewer will find their own light on the journey to overcome life's challenges. 6.2, Story 5. The Soldier Returning from War, a journey of inner healing and rediscovery. Mark is a veteran who experienced the dark years of war in a distant conflict zone in the Middle East. Upon returning home to North America, he carried not only physical wounds, but also deep psychological scars left by the war. Horrifying memories, the sounds of gunfire, screams, and images of fallen comrades haunted Mark, preventing him from finding peace even years after leaving the battlefield. Civilian life, with its pressures from work, family, and social reintegration, was far from easy for Mark. He frequently fell into states of tension, anxiety, and chronic insomnia. Repressed emotions and the conflict between past and present caused him to distance himself from loved ones, living in isolation and despair. Mental health professionals diagnosed him with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, a common psychological condition among returning soldiers. Refusing to succumb to the darkness within, Mark began exploring Zen meditation, a path introduced to him by a close friend as a method of inner healing. Initially, he struggled to sit still and face the painful emotions that surfaced. But gradually, through each meditation session, Mark learned to observe himself with compassion and patience. Meditation helped Mark separate himself from negative thoughts, preventing them from dominating his mind, and step by step rebuild inner peace. He began to understand that while he could not change the past, he could change how he responded to it. This opened a new door on his healing journey, helping him reconcile with his inner wounds. Alongside meditation, and rediscovered new purpose and meaning. He participated in charitable activities supporting veterans and shared his story to inspire others facing similar struggles. Mark's journey is proof that inner strength and perseverance can heal even the deepest wounds of the human soul. No matter how fierce the storms we face, with mindfulness and compassion, anyone can find peace and continue on their own path. Mark's story is not just one of a veteran, but a story for all who struggle with inner challenges, reminding us of the value of resilience and the healing power within each of us. 6.3. Lessons from stories of resilience and letting go. The stories we have just explored carry profound lessons about inner strength, resilience, and the ability to let go, qualities essential for facing adversity in life. Each journey, despite differences in circumstances, culture, or time, reflects a fundamental truth. Peace does not come from avoiding difficulties, but from acceptance and deep understanding of oneself and one's situation. Mark, the soldier returning from war, experienced a battle not only outside but also within his own soul. His story shows that resilience is not about cold toughness but the ability to embrace pain, listen to one's inner voice, and gradually rebuild peace step by step. He did not run away from his past nor imprison himself in haunting memories. Through meditation and compassion, he learned to forgive himself and others, freeing himself from the mental chains that had long imprisoned him. Similarly, Emma's story, a woman fighting a terminal illness, emphasizes the importance of mindfulness and a positive attitude in maintaining inner strength. Facing the limits of life, Emma chose to regard each moment with gratitude and appreciation, cultivating a stable mental state unshaken by hardship. From these experiences, we realize that letting go is not weakness or surrender, but a courageous act, releasing negative thoughts, emotions, and unrealistic expectations to liberate oneself. Letting go creates space for healing, for the growth of wisdom and compassion. Resilience and letting go are not opposing forces, but two sides of the same coin. When we resiliently accept reality, we can let go of what is no longer necessary and move forward more lightly and freely. This process requires persistent practice, deep awareness, and a loving attitude toward oneself. The short Zen stories and the analysis of Buddhist philosophy combined with modern psychology reveal that inner strength is not a static state, but a continual journey of discovery and growth. Peace comes not because we control everything, but because we learn to live harmoniously with change, accept impermanence, and find meaning in every present moment. It is precisely in moments facing challenges, when everything seems to collapse, that our soul expands and wisdom is awakened. Therefore, each of us can learn from these stories and find within ourselves the power to overcome life's storms with peace and steadfastness. Remember, there is no path to peace other than the path of acceptance, letting go, and persistent practice. Inner peace is the most precious gift we can give ourselves amid life's storms. 6.4. Applying the lessons in daily life. The profound lessons from stories about resilience and letting go are not just distant inspirational tales. They can and should be applied in our daily lives. Transforming philosophy into practical action is a crucial step for nurturing and sustainably developing inner strength. This journey is not simple, but through persistence and mindfulness, we can gradually gain mastery over ourselves and live more fully in each present moment. First and foremost, we need to learn to accept reality with all that it brings, whether favorable or difficult. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but honestly and straightforwardly acknowledging life and ourselves, so we are not torn apart by invisible expectations or blind resistance. In every challenging situation, instead of trying to escape or blame, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or what can I do within my power to improve the situation? These questions help open new doors of awareness and transform negative emotions into valuable lessons. Alongside that, practicing mindfulness in every action and breath is an effective tool to maintain inner peace. Focusing on the present moment reduces anxiety about the future or obsessions with the past, the root causes of stress and sorrow. Mindfulness helps us observe and recognize emotions and thoughts more objectively, allowing us to choose appropriate responses instead of reacting instinctively or being controlled by negative feelings. Letting go is also applied in daily life by learning to release harmful habits, thoughts, or toxic relationships. This is not easy because it is often tied to intense emotions such as fear of loss, anxiety, or even false security. However, when we realize those things are hindering our growth, we need courage to free ourselves and create space for true freedom and happiness. Moreover, resilience is not just the strength to endure, but also the ability to adapt and continuously learn. In work, relationships, or self-care, resilience is shown through optimism, flexibility when facing change, and seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. Every stumble, every failure is a lesson, and maintaining a growth mindset helps us keep progressing and developing ourselves. At the same time, self-compassion is an indispensable factor in applying these lessons. When we forgive and love ourselves even in our weakest moments, we gain the energy and peace to continue our journey and open our hearts to others. Practicing compassion reduces harsh self-criticism and nurtures a gentle, open, and hopeful spirit. Finally, building a supportive community or participating in meditation groups. Mindfulness practices or charitable activities also strengthens inner power and sustains resilience in life. Community not only helps us feel less alone on the journey, but also provides encouragement, learning, and valuable sharing. In summary, applying the lessons of resilience and letting go in daily life requires awareness, practice, and patience. When each individual learns to listen to and love themselves, accepts reality. This is the precious gift we can give ourselves and the thread that connects us to true peace and happiness. Part 7. They are effective tools that help us master our emotions, overcome anxiety, and stay strong amid life's challenges. In this section, we will explore popular and effective meditation techniques. Starting with breath meditation, one of the most basic and accessible foundations, and moving on to exercises that enhance awareness and cultivate compassion. Each method will be explained in detail, along with practical guidance and analysis of its positive impact on mental health and the sustainability of inner strength. Moreover, this section will present ways to apply meditation and these practices in daily life so that anyone can create a peaceful space within their own mind, regardless of external circumstances. Through this, viewers will hopefully gain motivation and practical tools to maintain peace amidst life's storms. 7.1. Breath meditation, mastering the present. Breath meditation helps us return to the present moment, the only time we truly live and can control. In our hectic, overwhelming lives, the mind is often swept away by worries about the future or obsessive thoughts about the past. Breath meditation acts as a pause, a peaceful resting place amid the chaos, helping us realize that not everything must be solved immediately, and we do not need to be overwhelmed by emotions. The practice begins by sitting quietly in a comfortable but alert posture, then directing full attention to each inhalation and exhalation. With every inhale, we feel the air entering the body. With every exhale, we gently release tension and worries. When the mind wanders, we gently bring our attention back to the breath without judgment or frustration. This simple technique can be done anywhere, anytime. Just a few minutes daily is enough to calm the mind, reduce stress, improve focus, and increase a sense of peace. Modern psychological studies have shown that breath meditation reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting the body's natural relaxation. Furthermore, breath meditation trains us to let go of anxious thoughts, worries, and negative emotions. When we simply observe the breath without trying to control it, we learn an important lesson. Not everything in life is within our control, and accepting this brings true peace, especially when facing difficulties or life storms. Breath meditation helps us remain mentally steady and not swept away by chaotic emotions. Instead of reacting instinctively or being ruled by anxiety, we can return to the breath, soothe the mind, and make wiser decisions. In the next part, we will continue exploring more meditation techniques and practices that enrich the tools to nurture inner strength and preserve peace within the soul. 7.2. It is not only a practice to nurture love and empathy for oneself and others, but also a path to true inner peace and liberation. In the context of modern life with its pressures, conflicts, and daily challenges, loving-kindness meditation becomes a spiritual strength that helps people maintain peace, open their hearts, and face difficulties with tolerance and forgiveness. Starting with loving-kindness meditation, the practitioner directs their mind toward unconditional love, not discriminating or expecting anything in return. Through repeated phrases or visualization, the mind is guided to send blessings to oneself, loved ones, then expanding to strangers, and even to those with whom there has been conflict or misunderstanding. This represents a profound transformation of consciousness, an expansion of the space of loving kindness that breaks down invisible barriers caused by prejudice, anger, or fear. The feeling generated by loving kindness meditation is not only gentleness, but also an inner strength that reduces stress, anger, and feelings of loneliness, thereby enhancing psychological resilience and improving personal relationships. During the practice of loving-kindness meditation, each breath becomes a step on the path to building tolerance, empathy, and forgiveness. The meditator learns to acknowledge their own pain, not avoid it, but embrace it with love, and from there, extend compassion to the pain of others. This is the path to healing emotional wounds and building a solid foundation for inner peace amidst life's storms. In the process, repeating phrases such as, "May I be peaceful," "May all beings be happy," is not merely words but a profound connection with the vast energy of compassion. The mind gradually frees itself from negative habits such as judgment, resentment, or envy, replaced by acceptance, tolerance, and unconditional love. An important note is that loving-kindness meditation is not only an outward-directed act, but also essential self-care, often creating a strong foundation to radiate out into the world. Additionally, loving-kindness meditation helps improve self-awareness and emotional regulation. When we love and appreciate ourselves, reflective meditation, or guided visualization, practitioners may start with a few minutes daily and gradually extend both time and depth, bringing lasting benefits to mental health and fostering an optimistic, strong spirit. Ultimately, practicing mindfulness in daily life, the journey to maintain peace amid life's chaos. In today's constantly changing and stressful world, maintaining inner peace has become a significant challenge for everyone. Practicing mindfulness in daily activities is an effective, simple, yet profound method that helps people stay fully aware, control emotions, and face difficulties with calmness and clarity. This journey does not require escaping from real life. On the contrary, it invites us to embrace each moment fully, whether joyful or sorrowful, favorable or adverse. Mindfulness, in its simplest sense, is paying full, non-judgmental attention to the present moment. When we live each second completely, we do not let our minds be swept away by worries about the past or future, nor do we allow negative emotions to cloud our reasoning. This is especially important when facing life's storms, work pressures, family conflicts, unexpected events, or prolonged negative feelings. When walking, we feel every step, breath, and heartbeat. When communicating, we listen attentively to others without distraction. These seemingly simple acts weave a strong network of mindfulness that keeps us connected to the present and prevents us from being swept away by chaotic thoughts. Mindfulness also helps people recognize and better understand their emotional reactions. Instead of reacting automatically out of habit, we observe emotions with enough distance to choose to respond wisely and consciously. This is an important step to avoid impulsive actions, hurtful words, and unnecessary conflicts in life. In an international and multicultural context, mindfulness also serves as a bridge that fosters empathy and compassion for others, regardless of their different backgrounds or circumstances. When our minds are peaceful and clear, we can see others with respect and tolerance, expanding boundless love and compassion. Numerous modern scientific studies have confirmed the positive effects of mindfulness on mental health, reducing stress, anxiety, depression, and improving quality of life. These benefits have made mindfulness one of the most popular practices worldwide, not only in meditation communities, but also in workplaces, education, and healthcare settings. Steady determination with small steps builds resilient inner strength, helping us overcome every challenge with a peaceful and clear mind. By sustaining mindfulness every day, we not only learn to face adversity, but also develop deep understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It is an inner transformation journey that opens the door to freedom, happiness, and an invincible inner strength. No matter how stormy life gets, it cannot shake the soul of a person who knows how to live mindfully. 7.4. Integrating meditation and modern science to enhance effectiveness. In today's world, the combination of traditional methods like meditation with modern scientific research has opened a promising new path for improving mental and physical health. Meditation is not only an ancient spiritual practice, but is increasingly recognized by science as a powerful tool to balance the mind, reduce stress, and improve quality of life. Modern science, with its advanced technology and research methods, has clearly demonstrated the effects of meditation on regulating brain activity, reducing stress responses, and enhancing focus. Studies using functional MRI, fMRI, electroencephalograms, EEG, and biological markers have shown that meditation changes the structure and function of brain areas related to emotions, attention, and self-awareness. This explains why those who maintain a regular meditation practice tend to have better emotional control and are less affected by external pressures. Beyond its impact on the brain, meditation helps regulate the autonomic nervous system, lowering heart rate, reducing blood pressure, and boosting the immune system. These benefits not only improve physical health, but also strengthen mental resilience, enabling people to stand firm amid life's challenges. The integration of meditation with modern techniques such as neuroscience, positive psychology, and biofeedback technology has created effective programs suited to diverse groups, from students and workers to those with chronic illnesses or psychological disorders. These programs focus not only on meditation techniques, but also incorporate psychological education, emotional management skills, and awareness training, helping practitioners develop a comprehensive support system for mental health. Notably, modern meditation has expanded beyond spiritual centers and monasteries to become part of workplace culture, education, and healthcare worldwide. Many large companies, schools, and hospitals have adopted meditation and mindfulness programs to boost productivity, improve morale, and enhance quality of life for employees, students, and patients. Additionally, the use of technology such as mobile apps, helping each person not only maintain peace amid life's storms, but also cultivate a rich and meaningful life. The acceptance and blending of meditation with modern science also create opportunities for cultural exchange and deepen mutual understanding among civilizations. Combining meditation and modern science is not only a breakthrough in healthcare, but also a symbol of the convergence between past and future, spirituality and reason. This section will delve deeply into the methods and techniques that help each person not only create a solid mental foundation, but also know how to sustain and continuously develop it throughout their life. Every story and analysis in this section is carefully selected. Building positive mental habits. The persistent journey to master the inner self. Building positive mental habits is an indispensable first step on the path to forming lasting inner strength. Unlike physical habits that are easily seen and felt, mental habits require persistence, practice, and deep self-awareness. They are invisible streams that nourish the soul and uphold the spirit in moments when we face difficulties and challenges. These habits do not arise naturally, but are formed through the repetition of constructive thoughts, actions, and reactions. A day that begins with gratitude, a morning meditation session, or a reminder to oneself to practice kindness. All are bricks laying the foundation for a resilient mind. Psychological research shows that positive habits not only improve emotional states, but also activate brain regions responsible for self-control and stress management. However, building positive mental habits is neither easy nor straightforward. It requires continuous self-observation, recognizing negative thoughts, and learning how to transform them into healthy responses. This is precisely where resilience and compassion begin to converge, creating an inner strength that cannot be defeated. We will dive into practical techniques and inspiring stories that illustrate the power of positive habits in transforming life, helping you understand that every small change in daily habits can create a tremendous difference in the journey of developing lasting inner strength. From setting simple and memorable principles to applying the mind to create profound change. This section will provide you with a persistent yet valuable roadmap leading to a strong and peaceful soul amid life's storms. 8.2. Self-observation and emotional awareness. In the journey of building and maintaining sustainable inner strength, self-observation and emotional awareness play a crucial role. Emotions are not merely fleeting psychological states. They are important signals that help us better understand ourselves, what is happening in our lives, or hidden beneath automatic thoughts and reactions. However, this is the starting point for not being swept away by the vortex of negative emotions, not being controlled by anger, anxiety, or sadness, but instead learning to befriend our emotions, observing them with objectivity and compassion. Self-observation of emotions arises from developing mindfulness, the ability to maintain present-moment awareness without judgment or avoidance, fully accepting emotions as they are. When we observe unsettling feelings without trying to change or deny them, we create a safe distance from those emotions, making it easier to adjust our responses and actions more wisely. Modern psychology also emphasizes that emotional awareness is a vital skill for enhancing mental health and emotional regulation. People who can clearly recognize and differentiate their emotions tend to experience lower stress levels, fewer emotional disorders, and greater effectiveness in coping with life's pressures. From the Buddhist perspective, self-observation of emotions is an expression of mindfulness, a means to break free from the cycle of delusion and attachment. The Buddha taught that all suffering arises from clinging and misunderstanding the impermanent nature of phenomena, including emotions. By observing emotions mindfully, we gradually realize that emotions are simply phenomena that arise and cease, without a fixed self to cling to or fear. Once able to observe and recognize emotions, not only do we maintain inner peace, but we also open the door to learning from these emotions themselves. For example, anger can signal that something conflicts with our values or boundaries. We can transform them into valuable teachers that help us grow stronger on the path to inner power. In practice, the process of self-observation and emotional awareness can be cultivated through various methods such as mindfulness meditation, emotional journaling. Developing emotional awareness also improves our social relationships. When we understand our own emotions well, we are better able to empathize with others' feelings, thereby building more genuine and profound connections. This inner strength not only helps us overcome difficulties, but also contributes to a more harmonious and meaningful life. In summary, self-observation and emotional awareness are foundational to building sustainable inner strength. When we learn to listen, accept, and truly understand our emotions, we no longer become their victims, but become masters of our minds, maintaining peace even in the storms of life. This is one of the precious secrets acknowledged and encouraged by both Buddhist philosophy and modern science as a daily practice for everyone. 8.3. Building a supportive and sharing community. In the journey of building and maintaining sustainable inner strength, one essential element cannot be overlooked: a supportive and sharing community. Humans are not meant to live in isolation. We always need connection, interaction, and support from those around us. When facing the storms of life, the presence of an understanding, empathetic, and sharing community can become a firm foundation that helps each individual overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. A supportive community is not merely made up of family members or close friends. It can also extend to spiritual groups, meditation clubs, charitable organizations, or environments where people walk together on the path of inner development and seek peace. Interaction within such communities creates a safe network where everyone can share emotions, difficulties, and lessons without fear of judgment or isolation. From the perspective of modern psychology, having a support community has been proven to significantly reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. When feeling heard and understood, the human brain produces positive hormones like oxytocin, which foster feelings of safety, trust, and connection. This is vital for maintaining inner peace. The connection within a community is embodied in the concept of the Sangha, a collective of practitioners who share, support, and help each other on the path to enlightenment. Fellowship within the Sangha not only helps each individual cultivate wisdom and compassion, but also serves as a collective strength to overcome difficulties and challenges. Moreover, the spirit of bodhicitta, the desire to awaken and help all beings, is nurtured more strongly when we are not alone, but have sincere companions by our side. A supportive community also enables us to learn and grow from the stories and real experiences of others. Each story of overcoming adversity within the community is a valuable lesson, a vivid source of inspiration. It helps us realize that we are not alone on this journey and that difficulties are temporary when we have enough inner strength and external support. Building a supportive community requires both initiative and personal responsibility. Each person needs to open their heart, share sincerely, and create a safe space for others. At the same time, Patience and tolerance are needed to accept differences and journey together even when misunderstandings or communication challenges arise. Respect and love for each other will make that community sustainable and long-lasting. Today, with the development of technology and social media, building supportive communities has become easier than ever. Online platforms allow people to connect, exchange, and learn together from all over the world. However, what matters is not the quantity of members, but the quality of connection, genuine sincerity, empathy, and shared responsibility in nurturing each other's inner strength. Furthermore, in the context of a modern life full of fluctuations and pressures, a supportive community also helps reinforce the sense of mental safety, not only for ourselves, but also spreading it to those around us. In summary, building and maintaining a supportive community is one of the golden keys that helps each person weather life's storms with the steadiness of inner strength. It is a place where we not only recharge energy, but also learn to give, share, and love, the core values that create true peace and happiness. Let us start with small actions, from sincere listening to opening our hearts to sharing, so that we can create a strong and sustainable network, together moving towards the light of peace and tranquility. 8.4. The continuous journey of growth through every challenge. Life is essentially an unending series of challenges, and it is through each of these challenges that we have the opportunity to grow and develop sustainably. Growth is not a fixed destination, but a continuous journey, but learning to accept and embrace it as an inevitable part of life. Only when we dare to confront, endure, and overcome challenges can our soul become truly resilient and profound, which may shake us, but also offers an opportunity to cultivate stability and mindfulness. Meditation practice helps individuals gain deep awareness of impermanence, thereby letting go of unnecessary attachments so that the mind remains unshaken by external changes. Modern psychology also emphasizes personal development through challenges. The concept of post-traumatic growth shows that after severe hardships, many people not only recover but become mentally stronger, gain deeper insights into life's value, and develop new skills to face difficulties. This proves that challenges are not an end but a stepping stone to progress. The journey of growth also requires perseverance and patience. Transformation does not happen overnight. It takes time to gradually understand oneself better, to cultivate compassion and forgiveness, to let go of negative habits, and to build positive ones. This foundation enables us to turn adversity into learning opportunities, thereby strengthening inner power sustainably. Growth is not only about improving oneself, but also about spreading positive energy to those around us. People with strong inner resilience often have a deeper ability to understand, share, and empathize, creating a strong community moving forward together. They become a source of living inspiration for others, like small lights in the dark night of hardship and difficulty. Finally, the continuous journey of growth is also a journey of humility and gratitude. Being grateful for each hardship that made us stronger, for those who have accompanied and helped us. And in every moment like this, no matter the storm that comes, we can hold on to peace within because inner strength has become an inseparable part of our lives. Part 9. Inner peace, the key to overcoming every storm. Life inevitably comes with challenges and hardships, often referred to as storms. It is precisely during these turbulent moments that we are invited to look deeply within ourselves, to understand who we truly are, and most importantly, to cultivate inner strength and maintain peace of mind that is unshaken by external upheavals. Throughout this script, we have explored profound Zen stories, profound Buddhist philosophies, and modern psychological research to better understand the value of acceptance, letting go, and the power of mindfulness in every moment of life. First and foremost, we realize that inner peace is not the absence of difficulties or suffering, but the ability to maintain serenity and clarity of mind even when facing any challenge. Difficulties, pain, and loss are not enemies but precious teachers guiding us on the path of growth and enlightenment. Challenges help us become more aware of the impermanence of life. Inner strength is not something innate but the result of continuous practice. Through meditation, mindfulness, compassion, and a growth mindset, we build a solid foundation to face any turbulence without being defeated. The Zen stories of acceptance, resilience, and letting go we have heard are not just ancient traditions, but are also supported by modern scientific research on mental health. Mindfulness helps us observe emotions and thoughts objectively. When we learn to be tolerant, forgiving, and open-hearted, not only do we benefit, but our communities also gain from the peace and harmony that spread. This is a powerful ripple effect that soothes the storms within not only ourselves, but also those we love and meet. An important point not to be overlooked is that integrating Buddhist philosophy with modern psychology provides us with practical and effective tools to live better in an increasingly complex and stressful world. Resilience, growth mindset, and mindfulness are not abstract concepts, but have been proven by numerous studies to help maintain balance and overcome difficulties with greater strength. We have also listened to inspiring real-life stories of people overcoming adversity, a woman bravely fighting a terminal illness, a soldier returning from war on a challenging journey of inner healing, and many other stories of perseverance, compassion, and the power of letting go. All of these vividly demonstrate the incredible inner strength of human beings when they connect with themselves and practice effective methods. Finally, the deepest message we want to send to the audience is, start today, at this very moment, to practice mindfulness and live consciously. Inner peace is not something distant or only for spiritual elites, but a gift accessible to all of us if we open our hearts and persevere in practice. Every breath, every moment of awareness is a step on this path. This is how we nurture lasting inner strength, face, and overcome every storm in life. Let's create a community of acceptance, resilience, and love, where every challenge becomes an opportunity, and inner peace is a strong foundation for a happy and meaningful life. Thank you sincerely, and see you in the next scripts. Amid the relentless changes of life, when everything around seems chaotic and uncertain, there is one thing everyone is searching for: peace. But how can we hold on to that peace when the storms come crashing in, when everything seems to collapse, and fear and worry flood our minds without end? There is an invisible strength within each of us, a hidden energy that helps us stand firm amidst the storm, not just to survive, but to grow stronger. This is the inner strength, the profound wisdom that ancient masters called the wisdom of the awakened mind. Have you ever paused to wonder, what makes the difference between those who are easily defeated by hardship and those who face challenges yet maintain a peaceful heart? It's not luck, nor is it escaping pain, but the ability to accept difficulties, to understand that storms are simply a part of life, and from there, learn to live in harmony with them. The journey to find and nurture this inner strength is not an easy one. It demands patience, mindfulness, and an open heart willing to embrace everything, whether pain or joy. But you are never alone on this path. Through short yet profound Zen stories, we will witness living proof of inner strength overcoming all obstacles.